Cruising down the street, night black is tall. Don't know why I feel so comfy in this stolen car. When my man shot the owner in the throat and the arm. My near future is more, nigga freedom is far. All I can see is the bars. Picture life in the yard. Cause I ain't used to bitches, I only hung with the guards. Oh shit, they shine in the light in the car. Hit the corner, nigga, make the right at the bar. Stitch, the murder weapon still in the car. What, nigga? I guess we was done from the start.
Cruising down the street, trying to dodge these lights. Swear I'm not trying to get locked up tonight. Can't believe the events that may occur. All I can think about is Prison City and her.
We here live, Prison City and her, here with Danger Dog. We got Taisha Smith, better known as Big Baby. I appreciate you coming through, sharing your story, you know what I mean? Because we like to hear it. So, first question, when you started bidding, like, what was the first time, how old was you when you first got locked up?
Well, I was a juvenile. I was getting in trouble all through my juvenile life. You know, my first real charge was robbery, assault, and battery. It was me and my cousins. We seen these three boys. They had about $30. They was going to get a haircut. And you know, we beat them up. We took their money. We took their bikes. And you know, after that, we was riding down the street, and the boys was in the back seat of the car, and they pointed us out.
Wow. Man.
So that was like my first time really getting in trouble.
What'd they give you for that?
I sat in juvenile because back then, you know, your parents could come sign you out.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, you know, my aunt made me sit like 2 weeks or whatever. Then she came and got me, and I got out, you know. And, you know, after that, you know, I really didn't get into much trouble as a juvenile. So when I turned like 18 is when, you know, my life of crime started.
Okay.
And, you know, I was selling drugs, you know. My brother, you know, he knew who he is. You know, he gave me a pack to hold for him until he came back from taking this girl to the movies. So when he came back, I had all the money. I sold all the drugs, you know, and it felt good, you know. So then I learned how to start going to New York, you know, hitting the chart with all the weeds, Afghani skunk, purple haze, all the exotic weeds, smoking, you know, getting money, and you know, it was fun at the time until I got locked up, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I got locked up. My first bid was a 3 flat, but
when you don't mean to cut you off, but when you heard 3 flat, like, did you know that you was gonna do? Did you think you was gonna do 3 years, or did you think you was gonna do less than 3 years? Like,
nah, I thought I was gonna do 9 months and come home. That's what they.
Okay.
That's what they said.
Okay.
But you know, I was a hardhead, so they maxed me out. And for those who don't know what maxed me out
Yeah, what
means,
does that mean?
I had to do the whole 27 months.
Wow. So you went from could have did 9 months to do 27.
To
Wow.
do
What happened?
27 months.
What you did?
Well, I got involved with a girl down there, and you know, she had a lot of time, and you know, I had that prison love. I was loving her at the time, so
Okay.
I did everything that I could to stay with her until there was no more that I could do, until they pushed me out on my own and said my time was over.
Wow. Okay.
Don't even think about like a connection like that. Like,
Yes.
like I can leave jail, but I don't leave her. So fuck it.
Wow. Did you keep in touch with her afterwards? Like,
I did, but you know, like they say, it's a jail saying, the closest get the mostest. You know,
of course.
I wasn't there, so she moved on to somebody else. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to write her and stuff like that, but she got hooked up with somebody else. And,
Okay.
you know, I heard it at first, 'cause, you know, I was still young, you know, but after that, I was just like, fuck it, I'm out here, you know. So then, you know, I continued selling drugs, catching little charges and stuff like that. You know, I didn't want to go back to prison, so I tried the drug court program. But they asked for everything but your drawers on that program. You know what I mean? They want you to do too much, so it wasn't for me. And then I remember like yesterday, Called my probation officer. She was like, you need to get in here. What kind of medications are you on? Because your urine is dirty. I was like, nah, my urine not dirty. She said, you need to get the fuck in here now. So I was like, catch me where you fucking can. Hung up the phone, moved from that address, and I went on the run. You know, and, for like 10 years. And then they caught.
But they give you did they give you like more time because you was on
No,
the
they
run,
didn't give
or-
me no more time. Actually,
Okay.
they added up my jail credits because, you know, I was in a lot of programs and stuff. So they
Okay.
gave me all of that credit and stuff, thank God. You know, the judge asked me, he said, well, where were you, Miss Smith, for all of this time? You know, I said home. So they kind of got a little mad at me because, you
Like,
know,
who couldn't laugh at that?
I said I was home, but I was home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just was under the radar. I didn't get myself in any trouble. But then I picked up another case. You know, I was with my friend in the mall. You know, money wasn't an issue. I had money. But my friend, you know, she had a problem. So
Okay.
she told me to hold the bag, and I held the bag, and
It was
I
you.
went out the store, and they grabbed me, and I already knew where I was going because I had a drug court violation. But I tried to do the crazy shit. You know, they take you to the hospital, but they tell you, you know, you're still going to jail, right?
And this ain't gonna change anything. It's gonna
Yeah, so
prolong
it
the
ain't changed.
situation.
Yeah, it ain't changed for me. So I went back down, and you know, this time wasn't like the first time I went down. You know, the first time, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I was in a camp or something. This time really hurt me, you know, because, you know, the way they doing females down there now, and all the rules they got, it's like they treat you like men. They really dogging us.
Yeah. What's some of the new rules like?
Alright, you can't wear your sweatpants. In the day room, it's in the Max kitchen. There's no more going to the kitchen eating. Everything is inside the cottage. You eat inside the cottage.
Wow, you don't go to the building to eat?
Nah, go to no
Okay.
building, no more to eat. And what else? In the Max building, it's the north side and the south side, right? Usually you all can go outside together,
Yeah.
but not no more. They doing the north upstairs, the north downstairs, and they go outside. You go outside, you're stuck out there until it's time to come back in.
Wow.
Yeah, and then on grounds, you know, you had somebody, I guess, trying to walk off or go to the Max building. So, you know, it wasn't no gates. Now they building gates and stuff. It's just not the same. It's just different. The officers, very mean, ignorant, you know. It just
Yeah.
was a hard bus for me this time. You know what I mean? It made me want to do something different.
I feel you on that.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of other ways that I could put money in my pocket besides going that way. So,
Absolutely.
you know, this time I came home, got married.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So me and my wife lived together. You know, I got into a little car accident, so at the moment I'm disabled. But, you know, I'm happy because I'm not doing anything to get me in trouble. You know what I mean? To go back to that place, because it's gold.
If you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Stay in school, hang with the nerds, do the right thing.
I feel it. Me
Shit,
too.
yeah.
I was the nerd.
Yeah. It's okay being a nerd.
It's
I know
okay.
that
It's okay. I remember I wanted to hang
I was
out
always
with
happy
you
I was
all
proud to be
cool,
a
and
nerd.
cool kids. Right now we struggling. Everybody that was popular is struggling. Everybody that
Yeah.
was a nerd is living.
Yes.
They living their life. They happy.
Yeah.
They got the houses. We still trying to all the shit that we were supposed to be doing
Let's
from
try to do it
fucking
now.
19 to 20. Excuse me, to 30.
Uh-huh.
We gotta do now. From 40 to it's like it seemed like even though it is gonna happen, it seemed like it'll never catch up. Or like you can never really
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm glad you you're having a good time since you've been home.
Yeah.
So no more.
Nah, they gonna have to kill me.
I know that's
So what's the next step?
Well, right now, I'm trying to, cause I'm about to be 40 years old, and I feel like I should have more accomplished than what I have now. So, like, I want to be a homeowner. I want to own something that belongs to me, that I can leave behind for my grandkids, for my daughter, and stuff like that. I mean, biologically, she's not my daughter, but I have raised her since she was 11. So, that's my next step, trying to stay positive, helping somebody out and hoping they can help me out, And,
What was when you first got locked up? Like, did you cry the first night? Like, what was the feeling the first time you ever got locked up?
lonely. Lonely. I was very lonely. People say they're gonna send you money. They say they're gonna write you. They say they're gonna come see you. It's a different ball game when you in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
nobody came
Feel like
to
people
visit me.
forgot about you?
yeah, one thing they tell you, like a lot of the older people tell you, forget about the outside. But
Absolutely, 100%.
like I couldn't forget about the outside because that's where I wanted to be.
Right.
That wasn't my life.
Yeah.
And I said I would never stop forgetting about the outside because one day I'm going back out there. You know what I mean? They tell you don't think about the outside when you get in there, and that wasn't for me, But I just felt lonely. That was my first feeling when I got locked up. Like, damn.
It didn't make you feel like every time I ever got like the first time I ever got locked up, it was actually I wanted to like I was kind of souped because I was in a group called ex-cons and everybody went to jail except for me, so it was kind of like a different atmosphere for me.
Yeah.
But it was like almost a game, you feel me? Like I never saw what the problem was in it until it was too fucking late. You feel me?
Right.
Like I remember when I first got there, they used to be like, "You the happiest person here. Like, what you laughing for? Like, why you always happy? Why you always laughing?"
Yeah.
So, just how did it feel going forward? Like, was it? I don't know how to say it. Like, was it a situation where you was always down, or
No.
did you have, like,
I learned to get up out that down stuff. When I first got locked up, I felt lonely. I was scared. I was afraid because I didn't know what to expect. But once I learned the routine and how to survive in there, that's what I did, and it got me through. I wasn't, I'm a happy person. I'm up, so that's what I had. Making other people laugh and bugging out until that day is finished. Another day down, mark it down off the calendar and start the next day.
what's the craziest thing you seen while you was locked up?
Oh man, I seen a girl eat a shit cake. Girl made a shit cake.
How does that even happen?
Right?
Like when you say a shit cake, what do you mean? Like
She shit, we get little bowls. She shit it in a bowl. Mix the stuff up around. Have you make cakes down there? Put it in the microwave and presented her the cake. And at the time the girl was so greedy, she said, "Oh, ain't nobody getting none of my cake," and she ate the whole cake and almost.
How did you
almost
not
died.
know it was shit? How did you not know it wasn't cake?
Oh my God. She put a lot of ingredients, sugar, whatever. I don't know how she ain't know it was shit, but she ate a whole bowl of shit and almost killed herself.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even
cannot.
understand. how that, like,
That's some crazy shit.
what's the craziest fight you seen down there?
With the officers, the officer kept, messing with this girl, and she pushed him. She pushed him to something, and he tackled her down and just started beating her up,
Did anything happen to him?
But no, nothing never happened to them. They the officers. I mean, let me rephrase that. Something do happen to them, like when they get caught screwing the girls and
Yeah, I
stuff
was
like that.
saying.
But as far as like beating them up, they get over with that,
That's a
They
shame.
push their rate around. Mostly it'd be the rookies, you know, just coming in thinking they got something to prove or whatever, thinking that everybody in jail is an animal, in which we're not. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
Actually, we is some smart people.
People made a
That's
mistake.
the thing.
Yeah.
Anyone could end up there. Anybody could end up there.
Yeah,
You
Like,
made a mistake.
yeah.
Is there a point where you like that you felt like you couldn't jail no more? Like,
This time right here, it took everything I had in me. Like, I was really tired. Like, they sent me to a halfway house. I guess it was Bull Robinson or something.
I went there.
But I wasn't allowed to go out because I was in the medication part, because I do take medication. Like, that was like my breaking point. Like, coming down that hallway every day, you know, waking up, you know, sharing showers. Like, I was tired of all that. This time was like, you can't do it no more. Nah, I don't want to do it no more.
After you went to Bo Robinson, where did they put you after that, or did you get to go home?
I went home from Bo,
Oh,
but I stayed there like a whole year.
Wow.
Year and a half.
Why did they keep you there so long? That's crazy as hell.
Because I guess before my previous record, you know, they didn't want to parole me. But when they did give me a parole, I only had like maybe 4 months on it. But I took it because I wanted to get out.
Yeah, of
You know, and I
course.
successfully completed it.
That's good.
You know, so now I got nothing hanging over my head.
Clean
I
slate.
walk down the street, I ain't got to duck behind cars if I see the police.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? It's just a different feeling when you don't have nothing hanging over your head.
Did you go to school since you
Yeah, I actually got my high school diploma while I was down
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I was in Trenton, and they said it's not a GED no more. It's a high school diploma. So I
Okay.
did get my high school diploma while I was incarcerated.
That's
Yes.
what's up. What is your plans moving forward? Like, are you going back to school again?
No, I don't think I'm gonna go back. Well, I might, because I'm really interested in building maintenance, low pressure boiling.
Okay.
So I couldn't do that without having a high school diploma
Okay.
when I first started. So now I have the high school diploma. I can look into that. But that's really my interest right there.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to do that. You know.
Sound like you'll make a lot of money if you do this.
I
That's
got like
dangerous.
15,
right?
20 hours.
Yeah.
It's not something you can just get that job. Like, you have to have some type of training.
Yeah, I can use that, you know. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what's up. So, since you've been home, like, anything that you felt like almost made you do something that you shouldn't have did? Like, was there anything that almost made you want to deter but
Nope.
didn't?
Nope.
I mean, the
Nothing.
decision was like, nope, that's
Nothing can make me feel like I want to do something that will possibly land me back into that place.
Okay. Like, are you going to like support groups or like, or?
No, I just, no, some of the people that I was locked up with, you know, I met a couple of good people. I still keep in touch with them. You know, we lift each other up and every now and then, you know. It was a game that I love to play on there. It's called Pinochle in prison. So,
Okay. Yeah, I never learned how to play. I always wanted to play that game.
so
I used to
me and my
watch
friend, we might get together. She live in Patterson. We played Pinochle a couple of
Okay.
times and stuff. You know, and you know, that's it. I'm just basically trying to live, you know, the right way. Really live, because what I was doing before wasn't living.
Wow.
You know, it was just surviving. You know, and I don't have to live like that.
It feel real good, I'm sure.
Yes.
Trust me, I know personally, to not have to worry about somebody just
Yes.
running down on you all of a sudden, like.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta listen for the door, see if
Yeah,
they're gonna raid
like-
your house. And I don't go through none
When
of
you
that.
aren't anxious, like how do you get used to that?
What do you mean?
Like when you're running from someone, you know that there's someone who's looking for you, especially
Just
for that
gotta,
extended amount of time. That doesn't make you anxious. Like you're not like.
very anxious, but my mind thinking was I have to stay ahead of the game. I have to stay ahead of them. You know, I have to think like they're gonna think. I have to move a certain way. You know, it was never a comfortable feeling. It was always, like you said, anxious. And a feeling like I needed to do something else, you know. If I feel like they watching me too much or whatever, I'll move to another spot, you know, to make me get just a little bit of comfort.
Right.
Was you in a gang? Like,
No.
so was you hustling for yourself, or was you like?
I started
part of
out
a
hustling
crew,
for
or-
some. I started hustling for myself. You know, I figure like if I'm gonna go down, it's gonna be for me, for
You
mine.
had problems in the streets, like did anybody try to bother you because you were female?
No, you know, some people get jealous. You know, if you're making too much money, then you gotta get out of here. You can't do this. But you know, it's a big world out there. So if one person tell you can't do something, you go to the next spot and figure it out. You know. But I really didn't have no problems on the street. You know.
Did they embrace you when you came back home? Did anybody write you while you was locked up?
Nah, my stepfather, I had him. He came to see me when I was in Bo Robinson and sent me a couple of dollars. But everybody else I have, like most of my family is dead anyway. So it's just really like me, you know. So I really didn't expect too much from the outside anyway. But it did feel good to think that someone was thinking about me on the outside. Because you know, when you're on the outside and you live in that type of life, you have so much love in the world, it feels like.
Yes.
But when you get in, all of that is gone. It's like swiped away. So I ask myself, is it really love? Or is it just what I can do for somebody? Or how can I help this person out, you know? What do they want from me?
Do you think that's one of the biggest things that you learned while you were locked up?
Yes, yes. And it took me a while to learn that, but you know, after so many times in the box, it becomes like a shining light in front of you. You know, the blindness clears.
Yeah, you can't ignore it after that.
No.
So did you keep any of the relationships that you had before you were incarcerated? Like, did you have those relationships again? Like, any of the friends that you had before? Because I found out when I came home, I had to cut ties with everybody. Right. And people used to be like, oh, you, like, I used to be like, I'm in a rush, I gotta go. They be like, oh, you acting funny. Nah, bruh. I remember when I was in trouble, when shit didn't go right, I remember who I had me. Right. Like, did you cut all ties from all the people
Yes,
you were able
I did.
to keep? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Immediately or?
Immediately. There was no thought about it. When I came home, I didn't go looking for nobody, and nobody came looking for me.
And nobody came looking for you, okay.
I mean, if I see anyone passing, you know, I'm not ignorant, I'll speak, but as far as a whole conversation, nah. Because I already know where it's going to lead to, because that's the only thing that they know, and that's the only thing that they're doing right now. And if I don't want to be involved in it, then I have no reason to sit here and have a conversation with you.
No doubt.
There's nothing to even talk about.
If you could change one thing from the past, just one, what would you change?
The path I chose, I would stay in school. Like I said, I'd be a nerd, and I'll go that way. And maybe I have a lot more than what I have now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a great interview. You feel me?
Yeah.
I feel like this is very mellow. You know what I mean? Very mellow.
I appreciate y'all too.
Definitely appreciate it. Prison City and Her. If you got a story you want to tell, please don't hesitate to call 908-463-7646. We got Danger Doll, always here, best host in the world. And again, we got Big Babies. Peace.